I just had a wonderful experience running in Antigua, Guatemala. I did a mix of trail runs, some street runs, essentially adventure meets cobblestones.
All right, look at this view. Volcano.
Antigua sits kind of high. It's about 5,000 feet. Just outside of Guatemala City. It's very famous. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Beautiful city, and I got to run in the trails above the city, and then also I did a run through the city. If you're new here, my name is Camilo. I'm on a fitness journey. Over the last 6 months, I've run over 203 days, at least a 5K. Been trying to do everything to keep in shape and develop new fitness. I've lost 62 pounds now. I also want to talk about kind of my shoes that I use. So this will kind of be a shoe review video slash fun trail running and running video. The shoes I ran with are the Puma Mag Max Nitro. It's a mouthful. They're super comfortable, full stack daily shoes, and I really enjoyed running with them. They're bouncy and squishy without being overly soft. They are the perfect comfort shoe for kind of long recovery runs, slower pace runs. You can run a little faster, but the magic in these shoes is it has the most comfortable upper I've ever felt. The upper just sort of wraps around your feet, does a really good job kind of keeping the shoe stable and lightweight. I feel so good running in these. I also brought these as like my daily, everyday wear shoe. So I wore them on the plane, wore them on the layovers, everything that I would do in a normal shoe I brought. The Puma also has this incredible outsole. And the outsole is almost like a super grippy Puma grip rubber. And it feels so good, especially when you're running off-road. These aren't trail running shoes per se, but they did great on all these loose surfaces, on these cobblestones, on these uneven paths, on these scary sidewalks. I mean, the grip you get is fantastic.
Uphill, Guatemala.
So my first run was over 6 miles, 6.69 miles, up into the foothills surrounding Antigua. I ran up on this ridge, and it was a mix of people's houses, backyards, trails, and then also a road that was full of motorcycles and buses and stuff. I passed along people, I got great views, and when you're running in a new place, I use the Strava heat map to kind of figure out where to run. But I also asked locals where they could go. And I'm lucky enough that my stepmother knew some great trails and she pointed me in the right direction. But what's different about running kind of compared to my suburban lifestyle here in Colorado is there's a lot of people, a lot of motorcycles, a lot of dogs. I got the best advice ever was to bring an invisible rock. So if a dog starts chasing you or barking at you, you just pretend you're gonna throw a rock at them and they'll back down. And then also you just got to be mindful. The traffic is really not pedestrian friendly. You know, you're an adjunct to the traffic. You're not no one's going to give you the right of way. So you kind of have to push it. There were some situations where, buses and motorcycles are screaming by you, but that's part of the fun. And then just being respectful, when you're crossing people's line, when they're trying to get work done. Sometimes you just gotta pause your run and move around. And then most importantly is stop to take a look. This is an old city, and just seeing some of the history and some of the beautiful views was incredible, and it meant a lot to me to kind of stop and see. That first run was 1,344 feet of climbing, but overall it was a great run. Beautiful views, highly recommended. The second run I did was right through the heart of the city, right past the famous main square, right along past the famous arch, just through these beautiful buildings, all on cobblestones, then across the city into some kind of farmland off into the distance. On my way back, I stopped for what's called an orange with pepitoria. Pepitoria is ground up pumpkin seeds and salt on an orange, and it was better than any energy gel I've had. But it was fun running through the town, kind of seeing the people being part of that vibe. So 2 different runs in Guatemala, one straight up a hill on a ridge, beautiful views, and the other one through town. So my takeaways are, When traveling, hit the road, bring the right shoes, use Strava, ask your locals, and then just explore. And then make sure when you're running, if you're following a plan or something, still take time to look around, see what you see, and experience kind of a little of the culture that you're running by. And then to sum up my review of the Puma Mag Max Nitros, these are fantastic shoes for, especially an older runner looking for a very, very comfortable, soft, a shoe that's not gonna beat you up. And if you're gonna need a shoe that you're gonna bring along with you on vacation, these shoes are fantastic. Where do you wanna look forward to run? How do you find your runs when you're traveling? How do you keep up with a training plan when you're out and about? I'd love to hear what your suggestions are in the comments, and stay tuned for more adventures.